Hello there. On the strong recommendation of a friend, I'm making my first YouTube video on my re-entry into the pigeon world. So I guess I should say what day it is to start with. Today is June 27th? No, June 28th. 2019, and I've had these little pigeons for about not quite a week yet. Tomorrow it'll be a week, and right now they're not in the ideal place. I'm working on building a coop in the backyard, but for now I figured I'd put them in the house where I know they're safe and none of the little kids in the neighborhood will come by and let them out and I won't see them anymore. I first had pigeons when I was about 14 years old. I'm 42 now, so it's been a little while ago. I think the first time that I ever remember seeing anybody owning pigeons, I was about 10 years old, and they just had some wild birds that they had caught. So that was my initial plan when I had pigeons back then, when I was about 14. Me and my dad, we went to a overpass where we had seen some pigeons flying around, and it was at night, so we figured we could catch them, but they weren't on the edges where we thought they were going to be. They were in the middle over the pylons, so we didn't catch any. But some police came by and asked us what in the world we were doing. They thought we were graffitiing, and we just told them we were just trying to catch some pigeons, so they didn't cite us or anything. We from there I found a classified ad that had some Birmingham rollers in it, and they were about $7 a piece at the time. So I went and bought, I think I bought 2 pair at the time, and I was hooked. I love the fact that you can let pigeons out and they come back and they want to be at their home. After the Birmingham rollers, I fell in love with parlor tumblers. That was one of the coolest things I think I'd ever seen, was parlor tumblers. But the real addiction started when I got homers. Homers are a different level of intelligence compared to the rollers. What made me a true believer in that statement is when I was about 16, I had built a new coop, and it wasn't coon proof. I was a kid, so I didn't realize that a 2-foot by 6-inch hole a coon could crawl in just very easily, no matter if there was grass growing up over it or not, much less, the pigeons could get out. But a coon got in, killed every roller in the coop, but didn't touch any of the homers. And at that point I quit messing with rollers because they just weren't intelligent enough for me if they couldn't stay away from the coons. I fixed that issue with the coop, but didn't have any coon problems after I fixed the issue. And every coop I've built since then, there's been no problem with coons or possums or anything getting in them. And that's one thing here in Texas, we say coop. We don't necessarily say loft. It's hard to get my tongue to do the loft thing because it's always been my pigeon coop for my whole youth. I had pigeons from the time I was 14 until, and that I was 14 in 90. Let's see, 92, 93, somewhere in there is when I got my first pigeons. And then I had them all the way up until I was, 20, around 20. And I had everything from homers to what they call crack tumblers that make a lot of racket whenever they fly. Homers always were my favorites. So about, after I got out of pigeons, life just kind of got in the way. So my goal was always to, when I retire, I'll have pigeons again. Well, my dad passed away when he was 53, so he never got to retirement age. I live a little bit healthier lifestyle than he did, but there's no guarantees that I'm going to reach retirement age. So after watching some videos on YouTube and kind of rekindling that fire, Adrian P on YouTube. His videos just, they hit me at home. It was a nostalgic feeling. I'm like, I got to get some birds again. And so here I am, 5 birds in my tiny room. Little young birds I've got. It's just nice having birds again. Something that I'm motivated to get up and take care of each day. But that's it. That's kind of my introduction, how I got into pigeons, and I'm sure I'll have a lot more stories. Right now I've just got 2 little breeder coops with 5 birds in them, and I will be building a true pigeon loft as soon as if you hear that in the background, that's my big fish tank. I've been into fish since 2007, just super duper into fish. Anyway, Adrian kind of twisted my arm and said I needed to make videos on my venture back into keeping pigeons, so that's what I'm doing. I'm sure there'll be lots more videos to come, and this is number 1, hopefully of many, if anybody is interested in seeing them.